Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. I hope that everybody is having a good day. I hope that you have had a prosperous and productive week. I'm going to stop by real briefly to talk to you about the ongoing situation in Dallas with the murder of Joshua Brown, who was a key witness in the murder of Botham Jean, as it pertains to Amber Geiger and some other things that are coming to the surface and the narrative that is being created simultaneously by the Dallas Police Department and the mainstream media, especially in Dallas, and how that lines up with what we see to be the truth. First of all, I have to give acknowledgement to Professor Black Truth. First of all, I jacked the whole Dave Chappelle thing that you saw at the beginning of the video after the production. And you'll also see a link to that entire video where he goes into much greater detail than I will, just shooting down in his own way, the way he does it, shooting down all of the things that are obvious to those who have taken the time to give critical thought. Also, those of us who understand the system and those of us who grew up in the hood and understand how the movements work when you quote unquote moving dope, especially when you're supposedly moving weight. Um, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the specifics. Some of the things that he covers, and I've put a link to that video in the description box because I want you to be able to see what he had to say about it since I jacked his Dave Chappelle intro. But he definitely does what he normally does. And of course, the time I sit down to do the video would be the time that everything's going on. The lawn guys are showing up, and I hear the disposal truck coming down through the neighborhood. So you guys going to have to work with me on this because I don't have time. I'm about to leave and go take care of some things, but I want to get this done. So some of the things he points out is the distance these people had to travel and the cities that they had to pass that they would have been able to get marijuana at much easier. First of all, you got Baton Rouge, New Orleans. He made a valid point. Not only that, something else he makes a point in deeper into his video is the fact that in Louisiana, medical marijuana or medicinal marijuana is legal. And anybody who studies how this has worked is when in states where marijuana has been legalized, even just in for medicinal purposes, it's killed the street value of it because everybody's trying to get in on it at some level, so you can find it almost anywhere. So to leave a state where it's just everywhere, and you're going to probably get in less trouble if you get caught with it. You go over into a state where it's absolutely not legal in any way to go buy it from a guy who's had his picture plastered over the media for what, 3 days or 2 days, and then since then his picture is everywhere. And so this guy is probably one of the most recognizable people in America at this time. And he touches on that. He touches on the fact that even after getting on this side, he didn't stop in Beaumont. They didn't stop in Houston, a much larger city, and having a much stronger connection to the Mexican U.S. cartel connection, where a lot of this marijuana will be coming from if it's not homegrown. And he goes into all of that. Then he goes into just how stupid this kid would have to be after being able to run this successful drug operation under the nose of a racist cop who would be looking for any reason to bust him. Right, and they're living right next to him, and then close to him, wherever, at very close proximity, if he could hear what was going on when it happened. So close enough in earshot of him. And then a couple blocks down the street is the police station. So he's doing all this, never gets caught. Nobody never says anything on him. Ends up being a key witness in a case that could send a cop to prison. And also, the defense can't dig anything up on him except for the the misdemeanor theft case and the one possession case. And that's it. That's all that was there. He talked about that. He made himself a credible enough witness before a jury that he was the key witness and a main reason why she was convicted. Now, what we haven't talked about a great deal is the fact that on top of him testifying and getting a cop convicted, a white cop convicted. He was also scheduled to testify in the civil case where the Jane family was going to be suing the city of Dallas, and obviously simultaneously the police department. Then all of this is coming together, and what we don't talk about is the young brother who shot him. And his name is escaping me right now, and I don't have it in front of me. I had it, but I don't have it in front of me. But Professor Black Truth says his name several times. This is the guy that shot Joshua Brown um, back in last November. So a couple of months after Botham Jean was killed, and it was understood that Joshua Brown would be a key witness in this. He was attacked at a club by someone he supposedly didn't know. The person killed his friend and shot him in the foot or in the leg. I've heard the leg, I've heard the foot, but shot him in the lower extremity. He survived, but he felt immediately that he had been targeted because there was no other reason for that confrontation. He had been targeted by this guy. Now, this guy, after shooting two people, killing one, is out on the street again. A black guy in Texas. You have to understand Texas to understand this. He's out on bond. I don't know his background or what family he comes from, but something like that. Most of those guys spend that time inside fighting their case. Just generally, wealthy white people get out on bond for murder. Black people don't, not in Texas. But anyway, he's out. Like I said, of course, this would be the day they would show up. But anyway, um, this guy is still out. Now, here's what's interesting. When this kid comes up murdered, now he is a couple of blocks down from a police station. He said that he fears for his life. He feels targeted. He feels like people will follow him, all these different things. And he's a couple of blocks down from a police spot. He's got to feel like if he's that paranoid that he's being watched. But he decides to do a drug deal with some people from another state that called him up so they want to pick up some weed. They drive all the way 4 hours minimum to come to Dallas, past a bunch of other places they could have got the weed at, to come get with a dude that then already show that he is willing to go on a stand and testify to convict somebody. Now he's testifying against a white cop. What are the chances, he's gonna have some kind of thing that says a code that I'm not going to testify against you. So why would you even take that chance? But anyway, he decides to do the deal out in the open. He decides to do the deal out in the open. And so, because he gets killed supposedly right by his car. So he decides to do the deal out in the open. Also, you got this tip, the DPD got this tip that there were drugs in the apartment. So they went in the apartment and they found these drugs that they're supposed to found. Here's the thing. The moment that this happened, the Dallas Police Department should have recused themselves from the case because they have an interest in the case. This guy's a witness in a case where they are the respondent. You can't say defendant because it's not a criminal case, but they are the respondent. They are being sued, and they are the respondent. They should have recused themselves, an independent agency like DPS or something like that. Not that I trust them a whole lot, because remember, it was the Texas Rangers that had a ranger come forth and say that he didn't feel that there were anything that she did anything wrong. It was so the assessment was so poor that the judge didn't even allow it to be heard by the jury. But that was their presentation or their assessment of the situation. What I'm getting at here is we have to be careful. And this is the reason I'm coming before you today. I want you to check out what Professor Black Truth has to say. No, I'm not about division. I'm not about who's in what camp or whatever. I'm about truth. I don't care what brother I hear speaking truth. And I personally don't have anything against the brother. I haven't looked in anything other than what I hear. So I listen to what he's delivering. I shoot for the message, and I give credit to the messenger. Other than that, unless I see something being done shady or seeing something being done, I'm not attacking my brothers. I'm not out here to compete with any of them. And when they bring in something and I see some heat in it, I'll bring it to you. You devour it and consume it how you want to consume it. But as for me, I check it out and just listen to what's being said. It makes a lot of sense. Plus, on the way he does his show is he's got screenshots, so he's showing you receipts of what was said and by who. And he gives a new uh, perception of Lee Merritt as well, which is definitely worth considering and evaluating. So check all of that out. Uh, get back at me, shoot me some inboxes or whatever, wherever you're going to be watching this at. But check it out. I think that there's so much to be looked at, and so many people are letting mainstream media write the narrative. And they were so easy to jump on those pictures that popped up of this brother in uh, jail attire or prison attire and say, well, that's exactly what happened then, without really thinking this thing through, without looking at what was going on, without putting all the dots together. And that's why people like myself, Professor Black True, Jason Black, um, and others go digging, because we want to see the truth. We want to present it as is. We want to present it without the influence of political correctness, identity politics, all of the other stuff that plays into it. Simply put, we want the truth. We want it out there. Sometimes we're going to be on the wrong end of the truth. A lot of times they're going to be on the wrong end of the truth. But the bottom line is our credibility means a lot to us. So we're putting the truth out there and asking people to check it out. And you guys have seen in recent weeks with something, I can't remember what it was now, because I don't go around with my ego on my shoulder. But I came back and I apologized because I jumped the gun on something and it wasn't exactly what I thought it was. And I had to backtrack, and I came out. I didn't have to, but that's just me. I came back and said, hey, this is what it really was. And I put it out there. And that's because my credibility matters to me. So we're talking about putting it out there. So definitely click the link with Professor Black Truth's assessment of how ridiculous this story that the DPD is putting out and expecting us to believe really is. Depending on what feedback I get back from it, I may come back and talk about it at a much deeper level than I'm talking about it now. But it's so much to devour, and I think he did a great job in it. So it's no use in me double piggybacking the same facts over and over and over again. But I'm still looking into it. And what I want to talk about when I do come back to it is not so much the facts, but how easily it is for some of us to not only take that narrative that's being presented as truth, but then defend it with fervor. That's a problem I have. Well, anyway, and whatever you do, don't forget that we're still asking for your support. Look in the description box, support the work we're doing at the Odyssey Project, which includes the Black Voice, which includes the work we do and the content we produce here, includes Black Men's Lead Rite of Passage Initiative for young Black males 4 to 30, includes Restoring Ghettos Forgotten Daughters with my beautiful wife, Marion. That's my heart. That's my baby. Y'all know I love my wife. Uh, all of that work and other things that we're doing moving forward. Man, we got some beautiful things happening in the Houston area with men as far as addressing mental health. And again, I'll fill you in on that to the extent I can, because this is a place of a quiet, peaceful and space for Black men, where they're not going to be judged. They can talk about what's going on with them. They can feel safe about expressing their emotional issues, that whatever they're going through, a place that they don't have. We have some brothers in Houston that have created it. I've been contacted. I'm going to become a part of it. I'm going in, work with these guys. I'm excited about it because I got a lot of guys coming in now that really need to talk about what they're going through, and there's no place for them to go do it. So we're excited about that, but we definitely need your support. Go out and do it. I'm gonna get off of here because I got to actually get the baby to her drivers. Well, she's not a baby and she's not the youngest, but all of them are my babies. Got to get my 17-year-old to her driving school, and then the wife and I are going to work out. So I got to get out of here. You guys have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.